Hello everyone and welcome to the Kiki London YouTube channel. My name's Amanda and in today's video we are going to be doing a layered chrome look. So in one of the recent chrome stamping videos I did, someone asked if it was possible to layer chrome. So I thought I would do a little video showing you guys how I would do it and also to feature in some of the new spring pastel shades. So on to the first now, I'm going to start off with a base of Aqua Waves. Now, of course, if you were working on yourself or a client, you would do all of your prep and base coat first of all. But because we're just working on nail tips or display tips, we're going to go straight in with that colour coat. Now, when I'm doing a chrome, so we're going to start off with this first layer of chrome being a full nail of chrome, so a full chrome layer. I always like to do 2 coats of a base color underneath. Now, depending on the look you want will depend on the shade you want to go for. If you want more of a darker mirror chrome effect, I would recommend going for a black. If you want a lighter effect, I would go for a color that's similar to the chrome that you're going to be using. Now, before we apply that chrome, you need something for your chrome to stick onto. So over the top of your 2 coats of color, you want to come in with a no wipe top coat. It's really important that it's a no wipe top coat because a chrome won't grab on properly to a tacky top coat or a tacky finish. So whilst that's curing, let's take a look at the chrome. So we're going to be using this beautiful blue mirror chrome from Kiki London. And this one is absolutely stunning. It looks quite dark in the pot, but because we're working with it over that lighter base, it will look a little bit lighter. So as you can see, I took a generous amount onto my silicone tool and I kind of go in circular and up and down motions, rubbing that over the entire nail. I did pick up a little bit more than what was needed. So do try to get a feel for how much you need depending on the length of the nail that you're working on. And then as you can see, I'm just really burnishing that over the nail, and you'll see that there are some excess particles, so you're very gently going to sweep those off with a soft dust brush, and then this is what the finished look looks like. Now, because we're going to do a layered chrome look and the second layer is going to be an isolated design, you want a matte finish. So what I'm going to do is over the top of that chrome, we're going to seal that in with a layer of no wipe matte top coat. So it's really important with this step that you cover the entire nail, capping in at that free edge so that you're not going to get any chipping issues with your chrome. And then we're going to cure that for 30 seconds. Now, this is going to seal in that chrome so we don't disturb that or remove it. And then 2, it's going to give us a matte finish so that when we do our isolated chrome look on top, it's only going to stick where we want it to stick and it's not going to stick over the entire nail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an isolated chrome stamped design. So I've taken the Kiki London holographic chrome powder for this, and then I've applied that to one stamper, and then I'm going to stamp on a cute little flower using standard black stamping polish. So I'm just removing any excess image that I've picked up and I'm going to stamp that down on the nail. Then what we're going to do is just tap on that holographic chrome powder, and then you're going to see here that barely any of the excess stuck anywhere else. It's only stuck where we've wanted it to go on that design. So then what I'm going to do is clean off my stamping plate, apply another image. So we're going to take a small amount of black stamping polish, scrape off the excess and pick up our image. It's really important to remove any excess image that you don't want on the nail because your chrome will stick to that. And you do need to be quite quick with this step because your stamping polish dries very quickly and you need it to still be wet for your chrome to stick onto. And there you have it. We've layered those images over the top. So we've layered 2 different layers of chrome. We do need to, however, seal in those stamped images, and I want to make these come back to life with that glossy look. So obviously we made that chrome underneath matte. We're going to bring it back to life with the crystal top coat. So this is the new top coat from Kiki London. If you haven't checked this one out, then I highly recommend it. And then this is what the finished result looks like, and I do think it looks quite magical having those 2 layers of chrome. So on to the next now. I've already done 2 coats of Aqua Waves, and then I rubber top coat this one just to show you guys that you can use the rubber top coat if you don't have the no wipe top coat or the crystal top coat. It's just important that you use any top coat that doesn't leave a tacky layer. Then we're going to go in again with our chrome and rub it over that entire nail. So a little bit does go a long way. I always tend to pick up a lot more than what I need, but a little bit does go a long way, and I try to work over the top of the pot so any of that excess does kind of fall back in there. As you can see, you get a really super smooth chrome application by using the Kiki London Silicone Tool. So if you don't have that in your kit and you're struggling with chrome application, I would highly recommend it. I do find it gives off a smoother finish than using the little eyeshadow applicator brushes that come with the chrome. When it comes to your top coat, you want to gently float that on so you're not using too much pressure with your brush, disturbing that chrome because obviously it's not sealed in. And then you'll have that nice matte finish. If you prefer, you can glossy top coat and then buff to get a matte finish, but it is quicker to just come in with a matte top coat. I'm going to apply a generous amount of the holographic powder to our stamper, and then on this one I wanted to do a bit more of a full cover image, and it was a little bit tricky, but I wanted to still show you guys that it is possible. I think maybe I should have just wiped over my matte surface with a little bit of alcohol as well, because this helps give you that super matte finish. But I've stamped on my design same as before and then just gently tapped on that holographic powder, and then we're going to dust off the excess. But because it was covering up more of the nail and you're focusing that holographic powder over the entire nail, it did stick in a few places where I just wanted to remove that. So to do that, I'm taking the detail brush and a little bit of alcohol and very carefully just removing some of that excess holographic powder. And then of course, once again, we're going to come in and seal this in with the crystal top coat, because I am blown away by the clarity of this one over any kind of nail art. It just looks absolutely beautiful, has a really lovely really lovely consistency to it, and it gives you that really pretty crystal glass look. So as you can see there, it's brought back the blue from the chrome, but it does look, you are still getting a little bit of that silver shimmer over it. So I think if I was to try this more full covered layered look again, I would make the surface a little bit more matte by wiping with alcohol before we come in and stamp. But as with anything with nail art, experiment around and you usually find different ways or different techniques that work best for you. On to the remaining two nails, I wanted to use some more of those spring pastels and to create some fun nail art designs. So I've come in and used coconut, one coat of coconut for my base here, and I only did one coat because we're not really going to be seeing much of that coconut, and it is a very highly pigmented shade, so I didn't feel as though two coats were necessary. And then on to our design on this one, we're going to do a really pretty marble. So I've added on Peachy Bum, which is from the new Spring Pastels collection, and then I've added in a little bit of silver shrine because I wanted it to tie in with that holographic chrome powder and for the design to kind of flow and look consistent. And then the third color in our marble is Aqua Waves. So I'm going to run through those three colors on my palette, creating that marble effect. And then before we apply this to the nail, for that perfect blue marbled look, you want to take your blooming gel. I'm really struggling to get my words out today because in all honesty, I've had an awful couple of days. My little dog injured his spine and we have been backwards and forwards to vets and things, and it's been really, really horrible, and I'm just praying that he recovers. But yeah, I'm struggling to get my words out today as I've had very little sleep. So we've applied a thin coat of blooming gel. You leave your blooming gel wet and then you pick up your marble design. I prefer to pick my marble up using the round nail art brush. And then what you want to do is just very gently let that flow off of your brush and into that blooming gel. Because the blooming gel's wet, it kind of helps pull it off of your brush, and you don't want to play around with it too much. You want to just wriggle it off, and then it's going to start blooming and you create these amazing marble looks. I really, really love how Aqua Waves and Peachy Bum look together. I think blue and orange is a beautiful combination, but these two blues and oranges work beautifully together, and adding in just that touch of silver shrine adds on that little bit of sparkle. So once we had done our marble and was happy with it, we've popped it in to cure for 30 seconds, and then we're going to come in and top coat to seal that in. Now normally I recommend using the rubber top coat over any kind of nail art because it gives it a more encapsulated look. However, the crystal top coat does still look beautiful over nail art. It's ever so slightly thicker than the no wipe top coat, but it's not as thick as the rubber top coat. So depending on the nail art you're doing or the look you're going for, there's different top coats to suit that. If you're doing a plain color nail or minimal nail art like a marble where you're not creating too much unevenness and not encapsulating anything in like decals or foils, I would highly recommend the new crystal top coat. But if you are doing a more full-on encapsulated look where you're going to be encapsulating water decals or foils, something that's stuck onto the nail, Or if you've got a client that's prone to chipping as well, then the rubber top coat is the one that I would recommend. But I think it's amazing that Kiki now have a few different top coats available, because they all have their own role to play, if that makes sense, and they are all equally as amazing as each other. So on to the next now. I'd already done my coconut base. Again, I only did one coat of this because you're not going to be seeing a lot of it, because we're just going to cover it up by doing some funky shapes with all three of those colors, again just so the design ties together. And I think these simple nail art designs are great if you're kind of lacking what to do and you've already got a lot of heavy nail art in a set already. So some clients might find chrome quite full on nail art wise and want to just keep the remaining nails a little bit more simple, but I did want to still go in and add some of those new shades. So what I'm doing is just popping on, so I started off with the Peachy Bum and created just a cut out in that corner, and then I'm kind of following the curve of that, keeping it all looking quite wavy and funky because I felt like that worked well with the marble. And then we're going to come in and do a line of silver shrine, and then lastly we'll come in and do a final cut out down the bottom with Aqua Waves. Now what I'm doing is, after I've done each section, I'm flash curing that in my lamp for 10 seconds. Flash curing, it doesn't fully cure the product, but it freezes it in place, so you don't have to worry about smudging it whilst you're working on the next part of your design. But then it is really important to make sure that once you have finished all of your nail art, that you put it in for a full 30 seconds just to make sure everything has fully cured. And then this was how this nail looked. I would happily wear a full set of nails like this, just these funky swirls. It's a great way to use a few different colors, especially if you've just got new colors, but adding in a little bit of something different to a design. So we then finished that off with a layer of the crystal top coat, and then this was the finished result. And then lastly, this is what the finished design looked like as a whole. So I hope you picked up some tips and tricks. If you did, then please let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit up any requests that you want in the comments below, and I will do my best to do them. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and have some sunshine wherever you are. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, please do give it a thumbs up and hit that subscription button if you haven't already. Lots of love, take care, bye bye.